Good morning, happy Tuesday, and welcome to day 2 of the Six Figures with Soul challenge. We are here for 5 days this week, 5 days of kick-ass training to help you grow your business big time this year, make the bigger impact, make the bigger income, really from that place of doing what you love, utilizing your gifts and diving all in. So as I give it a couple of minutes for people to hop on and start joining, it's lovely to see you all this morning. Please do say hello as you jump on. If you're watching the replay, say hi. Feel free as you go through it to still type in any comments or put in any questions in our gorgeous group. I am really excited to dive into day 2, which is all about soul client supercharged attraction, diving deep on your soul client's magnetic messaging and activating the magic of you. And what I want to do today, we are not doing this in the surface based way you might have done before, because I know that if you've got a business, if you've already got to a certain level, then you'll probably be thinking, well, hang on a minute, Claire, I know my ideal clients and I know my message and da 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 da. Well, hang on, hold your horses, because we are doing this in a totally different way today. We are going way deeper. We're going to have more fun as well. And I've actually come up with something. I had like a download last night as I was planning this, and I'm so excited to be sharing some of it with you. So today is in 2 parts, and I can't wait to, not 2 parts in terms of the recording, but 2 parts in there's 2 key things that I really want to dive in to with you today. So as you're hopping on, I can see lots of you are joining me live now. Please do say good morning, tell me how you are, and what I'd love you to do is, how about today we put one word, so type in one word to tell me how you're feeling this cold wintry morning. So as you're hopping on, say hello and one word to sum up how you're feeling today. As you're doing that, quick reminder, as we go through the challenge this week, there are prizes to be won at the end for those people who like each video, comment on each video, and do the task for the day. Yesterday, it was amazing to see all of those gorgeous task ones kind of being shared in the group. It was really lovely reading through them. Lots of them, I think I commented on everyone's, but if I haven't, feel free to give me a little tag and I'll go back out. I'll have missed it by accident. So it was fantastic seeing that. I hope that you had some real ahas and takeaways from yesterday's training, because we went long. We did so much, right? We really dived into it. And today I've got even more for you. I've got so much awesomeness to share. Okay, let me see. Manda, good morning. Leslie, you're feeling frustrated this morning. Why, Leslie? What is happening? Maria, good morning. Debbie, good morning. Fresh. Hey, I like it. Diane, hello, you're feeling good. I like it. Feeling ready to feeling ready to start. That's so funny. It came through in 2 separate messages. Faye, good morning, gorgeous. Angela, good morning. It's awesome to see you all. Maria, you've been watching all day 1 and your energy uplifted yours. So feeling like the lighthouse. Whoop, whoop. All about that. It's about owning that lighthouse energy. How today, just throwing that out there, slight detour for a moment, how today have you woken up and really owned that lighthouse energy within yourself? Because here's the thing, how we do anything is how we do everything, whether we like it or not. So when we're owning that lighthouse energy, it's not really just about owning it in our businesses. It's all about how can we own it more in our lives and not be the busy person trying to do it all the time. And how many of us can fall into this, like as mums or women who are just juggling so many different balls, right? So often trying to be everything for everyone, and quite often then beating ourselves up. Like, we can all go there, we're all human, right? In that whole like, oh my gosh, well, I dropped the ball over here and dropped the ball over there, and it's, well, hey woman, it's because you're juggling a hell of a lot of balls there. And actually instead stop being that little lifeboat out draining itself all the time, and instead stand strong and be the lighthouse and shine brightly as a true superstar that you are. Okay, good to see you all. Camilla, lovely to see you. Natalie, you're feeling grateful, gorgeous. What beautiful energy to be in. So Let's just take a moment to get into this space, to get ready. And actually, I have got one more question for you before we dive into the content of today. And that is, when, this challenge is called 6 Figures with Soul, because I think that when we get to a 6-figure business, it can really start transforming our lives because we have so much more available to us. Suddenly things can become easier actually when you've got to that 6-figure level in your business. But I also truly believe that it's about doing it from a place of soul, doing it from that heart-centered place, doing it because you care, because you want to make a difference in the world. But tell me, because I want to see this, how many of you are in that place where you're like, hell yes, 6 figures with soul, we are doing it, we're going there. Maybe you're a long way off right now, so you might still be at that place where you're just making a few £100 a month, let alone a few thousand. But have you got that vision? Give me a little like hell yes, or I'm in, or absolutely, or whatever you want to put in the comments, or if not, tell me why not, because that's really interesting to see as well. Leslie, you decided to work from home because no face-to-face appointments and your laptop isn't working. Oh no, plus your manager is giving you grief for working from home. Okay, well, let's screw that up in ball, let's throw that out the way so that you can be here now and be excited about being here now, Leslie, because we have got a freaking amazing training to do today. So okay, what I want to talk about first, part 1, is diving deep on soul clients in order to create a more magnetic message. Now, you probably have already done the stuff around, well, who's my soul client? Oh, well, she lives here, or he lives here, and he does this, and he has this job, and he makes this much money. And like, you've probably looked at it from that kind of surface level. And you probably, from that perspective, know your ideal client really well. Well, what I want to do, because we're soul-led entrepreneurs here, God damn it, we want to go deeper. We want to have more connection. We want to make more impact. And so we don't just want the surface level. We want to go a bit deeper. And so, sorry, bear with me a second. Got so excited, I'm like causing myself to cough. So what I want to do with you today is not the surface-based stuff around ideal client. Let me have a sip of my coffee because I can feel I'm going to cough again. Do you like my coffee cup? It's a new one for Christmas. It's very sparkly and gold. So we don't want to just do the surface level stuff that you've probably done before, maybe a million times, because I know that I certainly did it a trazillion times over, and I still felt like, well, I don't really know my ideal client. And so it was a bit of an aha moment one day, and I was actually sat down doing my own, working through my own values. And this is where I want to go first with you. So as a way in to going deeper on your soul clients, we're going to use values. So the first thing I want you to think about, I'm going to assume that most of you know what values are. If you don't, put in a question, but like ask me questions about it. So your core values are the things that are most important to you about life. And your core values are probably very similar in your business to in your life. In fact, they may be exactly the same. And that's because I assume that most people here are growing a business doing something that they really care about. So it's not like, hey, I'm going to grow this business over here just to make some money, but I'm going to live my life over here. Actually, you are part of your business. It's all part of you. This is part of your purpose on this planet. It's you utilizing your gifts. It's you doing what you love, right? So your business is almost, and what you stand for in your business and what you're passionate about in your business is probably deeply encoded in your DNA. It's a huge part of you. Give me a hell yes, or give me a little love heart if that resonates for you. Do you feel like your business, which is all about what you're passionate about in this world, is a deep part of you, almost on that kind of soul level? Not almost, totally on that soul level. It's because I'm coughing. Give me a second. What's going on here today? So from that perspective, the values that we have in our lives, in our business, probably match. Yes, they probably match. So what I want you to think about to begin with today, we're going to start with your values, and then we're going to go into your soul clients' values, is what are your key values, your core values? just 3 or 4 of your top core values. If you're not sure about values, it's things like love and connection, freedom, making a difference, learning, feeling expansive, honesty, integrity, maybe hard work, maybe spirituality, maybe like it's all of those kind of things, right? So what I really want you to do for me, and I know it'll take you maybe a moment to start typing them all in, but I want you to give me like a little list. What are your core values? What are your core values? So things like love and connection, being true to yourself, growth and expansion, making a difference, freedom, inside and out. They're my kind of 5 top values. So what are yours? Type them into the comments. That's what I want to see. And I do want you to do this because this is going to help you with the next step. So this isn't just a random detour off to the side. I want you to do this because this is going to give you clarity on where I'm going next with this. And this is going to really help you make your message that's the heart of your business much, much more magnetic to your soul client. So when they see it, when they see you, when they hear it, actually they feel that pull because they feel that deep connection rather than just surface stuff. Okay, awesome. We've got some of them coming through. Love, integrity, peace. Beautiful. Maria, spirituality, integrity, kindness. Awesome. Been thinking about values this morning. How funny, Maria. Clearly on the same page. Compassion, empathy, truth, honesty, transformation. Okay, beautiful. So just check in for a minute. Are these core values of yours, right? We're there. We've got our core values. And if you haven't written them in yet, please do type them in because only a few people have. And I want to see them. This is like step 1 of the process. So we've got our core values and we're thinking about how we live into them really fully and how these values, when we live into them, really light us up and activate us and really help us to live our best life, right? It's when we're living our values that we are our most happiest and expansive and amazing. And by the way, this has everything to do with your energy. And I'm going to go into this in a little bit, right? We are all energetic beings. We are energy. And so the vibration that our energy is on attracts like vibration. So when we're living into these values, when we're being the fullest version of ourselves, our vibration is that beautiful high frequency that attracts like vibration. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more. I'm just kind of talking as you put in some of your values. Camilla, freedom, fulfillment, truth, healthy body and mind, gorgeous, loyalty, honesty, integrity, beautiful, fun, love, diversity, integrity, polarity, boom, flow, movement, honesty, freedom of expression. Okay, so we're here, it's happening, we've got them coming through now. Gorgeous, you're with me, we're on the same page. So here's the thing, usually there might be a few cases where it isn't, but usually our soul client will have the same or similar core values to ourselves. There'll be lots that they have in common. So for example, when I read through mine, love and connection, being true to yourself, growth and expansion, making a difference, freedom inside and out, how many of you might not have used the same word, but how many of you are like, yes, you've got those same ones as me. Like I can see even now just looking, this thing like authenticity, which is the same as being true to yourself, right? There's freedom on here. Well, I've got freedom on here. There's love, there's kindness. We've got those in common. That's because we've got that connection at a soul level. We are connected. We want the same things from life. The same things are really important to us. And you're going to have this in common with your soul client. Now, yes, your soul client is probably going through difficulty with something. But that difficulty that they're experiencing, whether it's in their relationship or their business or their health or their mindset or their whatever it might be, doesn't define who they truly are. However, how fully we live into our values does define who we are to a certain extent, because our values are the things that we believe and hold most true about life. So they hugely define us, right? And certainly how much we live into them defines us as well. So when we get really clear on what our core values are and what is shared by our soul clients, boom, it's like the connection is activated. So your next question around this is, now that you've kind of written down and just kind of honed in on what your core values are, I want you to type in again for me, which is it that you share? Which are the core values that you have in your own life and you share with your soul client? And you can say, actually, hell yes, of course my soul client is going to have these values. So for example, I know that all of you here want to make a difference. You care about what you do. You actually give a big damn about life and about how people feel and all of those kind of things. You are huge-hearted, right? I know that all of you have that. It's part of my message because it's one of my key values, and I know that in some way it will resonate with you as well. Not only that, but you have that dream and that vision. You have that thing that pulls you and calls you, that goes, you know, I have that feeling that there's something more. There is more greatness that I can step into. There's more of me that I can unleash. There's more purpose and more power and more calling, and you have that inside of you. It's why you're growing your business, right? And it's why you, yes, want to make a difference, but also, of course, you want to receive more income from doing it so that you can say yes to more things in life. Is this making sense? Have you got any questions? Totally the same, says Faye, especially on freedom. Yes. Hi, Suzanne. You changed your approach and started being more authentic. So you share all of yours. Believes in people. Yes, absolutely believes in people. Yes. Okay, cool. So this is going to be like part one of your magnetic message. And maybe I should take a step back for a moment, because there might be some of you who are thinking, message, what is she talking about? So your magnetic message is the message that you want to put out there into the world. It's a message that if you were standing on a stage with a microphone, you are having your Evita moments, and you've got all of your soul clients in front of you, like there was a big hall or auditorium or town square or whatever it might be, filled with your soul clients. They were all waiting to hear your message as like this person that they looked up to, and they really they wanted to hear from, right? And you've got hold of that microphone and you, like Evita, sang out your message to the crowd, and moved them all deeply. And I am joking a little bit, but you know what I mean, right? What your magnetic message is, that it's that message that you hold dear in your heart. It's at the very core of your business. Your magnetic message is your message that you want to share with the world about what you do and what's available to them, and how they can live their lives and how they can overcome their problems and all of these things. So your magnetic message is really the very heart of your business. And when it comes to us being visible, whether it's on social media or in person, it's our message that gets us visible. It's our message that gets us noticed. Because if our message is on track and true, then it's going to really resonate with those soul clients as they hear. It's going to make that impact. It's going to move people. Just like when Evita, I hope you... Do you remember the Evita movie with Madonna in it? I can't remember how old I was at the time, but I absolutely loved it. And that moment where she was on the balcony and she was singing like "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina." Do any of you know this, or are you a bit like, what the heck is Claire talking about? She was singing "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina," and like all these people, all the townspeople were stood in the square, and they were all like crying and sniffing and like, "Oh, Evita!" But it's because she moved them so deeply with her truth. Look, I'm getting all like emotional. It's because she moved them deeply with her truth. It's because she dared to speak her truth, and in that moment of speaking her truth and putting it out there, she really connected with those people on the same path as her who got her. And that's what our core message is, what our magnetic message is all about. And so our message is huge. It is the core of our business. And if we're not clear on our magnetic message, it means the heart of our business is missing. So our core message is more important than our ideal clients or our soul clients in a way, because it's the message that comes from our hearts that we want to share with their hearts. Okay. And that's why we want to go here, because Your values, your core values that you also just happen to share with your soul clients will make up part of your magnetic message because they can't not. So, for example, I am deeply, deeply passionate about helping women actually utilize their gifts and their magic and make a difference in the world with that and earn the money that they damn well deserve. And that's all in alignment with my values. It's in alignment with my values of being all of ourselves. It's in alignment with our values of like that growth and expansion, of helping people, of the freedom, right? And one of the things that really freaking frustrates me is women who are incredible at what they do, but because they're not great at the marketing or the getting themselves out there, they stay stuck and struggling and not earning enough for their entire lives. And it's just not okay, right? Because they're helping people and giving them and giving every day. So all of that is part of my core message, but as you can see, it's totally tied up and part and connected to my core values. So right, yes, I'm on a bit of a rampage, aren't I, this morning? I'm like, rah! But it is because I'm really, really passionate about this. Yolanda, Claire McPherson, I'm struggling with defining who my soul clients are. I am a facilitator trainer for team leaders, but also in the corporate sphere. I know they want instant. So here's the thing, when it comes to our soul clients, it's really important that we don't think about this from the perspective of, well, who is currently buying or who like needs this. It's more like, who's the person that I love to work with? Who's the person that I want in front of me, that I would almost do it for free because it's incredible. Like, it feels fun, it feels aligned, it feels flow-based. They really benefit from me. We've got those things in common. So it's just that really easy, beautiful connection. And you know, you can really make a real difference with those people. So instead of maybe thinking of it in terms of, well, it's this corporate person who does this and this and the other, you need to go deeper, Yolanda. So deeper in terms of, well, yes, it might be this person, this person, this person, but this is what they believe in life, and they want to grow, and they want to do this, and they want to do this, and they want to do this, and you know, they feel that leadership within them, but they need it igniting, whatever. So think about it in terms of that a little bit more. So you need to go deeper. The other thing to just briefly say about this, because some of you might be thinking, well, I have more than one soul client. So maybe you have different products or different things that you do, and you might think, well, I have this soul client and this soul client and this soul client and this soul client, which is okay. But here's the thing, your magnetic message is what ties all this together. It's what makes it all make sense, because your magnetic message will speak to each soul client, because it's not surface based, because it's deeper, and it's about who these people are at their very core. So for example, I quite often work with brand new entrepreneurs, people who are just starting their business, but they've got that vision, they've got that pull. They're like, oh my God, I want to do this. I want to have this business. I want to make it work, but I keep getting in my own way and struggling, and I just need some help and support. So that's like one of my soul clients. Another soul client is the woman who's already got a business that's making maybe £3,000, £4,000, £5,000 a month, but they've got to that place where they feel stuck. Maybe they're fully booked and they've got no time. They're like, oh my God, like I feel like I'm giving and giving and giving. And yes, I'm making a good income, but I need things to change. I need more ease. I need more flow. And so I also work with people who are there who really want to make those 10 or 20 or 30k months, but they need to shift their energy around it and get more of them, get more time back, and really kind of realign it. So slightly different soul clients, really, just because they're on different parts of their journey, but on a core level they're the same. That same message will connect with both of them, because it's about the freedom, it's about making a difference, it's about utilizing your gifts, it's about being all of you. And it's about getting the support so you can be that lighthouse and shine brightly. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. My message would be, anything is possible, eyes wide open and open to receive knowledge and power, as power is knowledge is power. So Eleanor, I want you to maybe go a bit more specific, like get in there and pull some of those words apart a bit so that yours will stand out. But we're going to help. I'm going to help. So this is part one. So take this. You've got your come on Claire, click. You've got your core values, because I'm talking about magnetic message. You've got your core values, you're clear on which you share with your client. This is part one. You're going to use this later on to add to your magnetic message. So part two is, part 2 of your magnetic message is the vision you hold for them, the dream, the desire, the want for their lives. So for example, you're a relationship coach, and that vision that you hold for them is they're going to really learn to love themselves and create happiness for themselves, so they're no longer searching outside of them for the answers. And from that place of empowerment, they're going to naturally attract that ideal partner who falls in love with them, and they live happily ever after and whatever else. But you have that vision for them, right? And it's like, yes, like this is the place that my soul clients want to get to. On the other hand, maybe something totally different. Maybe you sell a face cream, for example, right? And maybe you're like, well, I've got this vision, and this my ideal client, my soul client, will start taking care of her skin, and she'll wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and will no longer need to put makeup on because she'll feel really good that her skin is fresh and looking younger and fantastic. And so she'll go out in the world feeling more confident and shining brightly and not feeling like she needs to hide behind this thick mask of makeup, right? So we all have this vision that we hold for our ideal clients, and our ideal clients absolutely have that vision for themselves, right? Yes, they might be experiencing this problem here. So, right, I've got this problem, and we, as their soul coach, guide, supporter, teacher, whatever it is that you do, know that you are the person to help them move through this to this vision that calls to them. So the second part of creating your magnetic message, are you still with me, by the way? This is exactly what I used to say. Okay, cool. You'll catch the replay. Okay, so we want to make a list and just type some of them in now because I'd love to see them. Is what are the dreams, desires, wants of your soul client? Because here's what we're taught in the marketing world quite a lot. And you might have been taught this, you might not have been taught this. And it is really important. We do want to go there, but we don't want to just go there. Sometimes in the marketing world, we're taught to speak to their fear, speak to their problem. And so we all of our message can get really like low, and like it's struggle, and it's difficult, and it's fear, and it's scarcity, and it's hard, and it's sad, and it's like all this like jumbled up low frequency energy. And if you're constantly promoting your business from this low frequency energy, guess what kind of clients you're going to attract? Low frequency. You're going to attract those clients who are really just wanting someone to fix it for them, or who are just like so caught up in victim mode that they're not ready to move forwards. And these are the clients that aren't soul clients usually, who are usually really difficult clients to work with, and you can get all consumed with them, right? Quite often our soul clients are those people who are ready. They're ready to do the work. They're ready to move forwards. They're ready to go hell yes and embrace it. And so the way that we attract our soul clients is speaking to who they really are, past the problem. So yes, right now you might be experiencing overwhelm and struggle and lack of income, and some of these, you know, no time to do the things that you know you need to do in your business, and blah, 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 blah. However, even though you're experiencing these things don't define you. Actually, you are a freaking powerhouse of a woman. You have an incredible vision. You have that magic inside of you. That magic is waiting just for next level activation. It's waiting to be unleashed into the world, and we are going to get you shining brightly as the lighthouse that you are. You understand? Doesn't it feel different speaking to this person than speaking to this person? And so our core message, we want our core message to be uplifting and expansive, and see our soul client for who they are. And who they are, because who all of us are, freaking amazing, powerful people. Right? That when we actually give ourselves permission to own all of our awesomeness, we are unstoppable and incredible. And so it's really important that we connect into that and into that part of our soul clients. Are you still with me? Are you writing a list? Have you started writing your list of what it is, like those desires, that vision that you hold for your soul client? Whew, take a breath, Claire. Vision and core values sound like a brilliant formula to being confident, say it out loud to the world. Boom, Camilla, yes. They feel special, beautiful, more confident and loved, so they know they're important. I love it. So glad you said that, Claire. I don't like this pain point idea. Yeah, I mean, sometimes there is an important part. Sometimes we need to talk about the pain points a little bit, but we don't always stay in there because, you know, we live in a fear-driven society, unfortunately, most of the time. And I think that it's our jobs as soul-led entrepreneurs to change the balance a little bit, to shift from it always being filled with scarcity and doubt, and you need to do this because otherwise life is going to be terrible, to this place where we're actually like, no, life is expansive. You get to choose. You have choice. Abundance is available now. And we need to be the people who spread this abundance into the world. And so therefore, yes, a bit of this, but also really this, because like, just remember, everyone is freaking amazing. I can't see any of your things yet. Is that just because I haven't gone through the comments enough? So if you haven't yet, type it in. What is the vision you hold for them? What is it that your dream client desires, that your soul client dreams of or desires? Because this is the second part that activates your magnetic message. So you've got part one, which is the shared values. Part two, the vision you hold for them and their wants and desires for themselves. Boom. So for example, that might be for my soul clients, it's things like they want to be fully booked with clients. They want to be able to be fully themselves in their business and get paid for their purpose work. They want to feel that trust and belief that the world needs their gifts and they can make that difference, and they absolutely damn well deserve to receive richly for doing their purpose work. It's about women who are ready to let go of all the shoulds and the imprisonment and actually feel really free to be themselves and live the life that like calls to them, that they dream of, right? Stepping into that vision for themselves every single day. Right, so third part. Are you ready for part three? Give me like a little hell yes. Are you still with me? Let me do a quick check-in. We will dive into the part three of your magnetic message. Give me a little love heart to just kind of let me know that you're here. This is making sense. I can see there's loads of things. I'm not going to read all of them right now. I will come back to them and read them. I did yesterday and it was incredible reading everything. But if I just read them now, like there'll be no training happening, and you'll be all sat there bored out of your brains thinking, for God's sake, Claire, get on with the training. And I don't want to do that to you. Okay, you with me? We've got some love hearts, some smiling faces, an angry face. Hope I haven't upset anyone. If I have, well, so okay, part three. Now I really like part three because part three is a bit juicy. It's a bit juicy and it's a bit fun, and it's the bit of me. It lets me. It unleashes my inner bitch. And let's be honest, we've all got a little bit of an inner bitch, right? We've all got a bit of that like rah to the world. So I've definitely got some of that rah to the world, and this is where we get to include this as part of our message, because this is the part that gives it a bit of that oomph and a bit of that like badass that we've all got inside of us. So part three, are you ready for this? You're excited to hear what it is? Like, we've got some hell yeses, which is lovely. Anna's like, juicy. Oh shit, hang on, hold on. I've moved my screen. I've lost you all. Let me just, what have I done? Bear with me. Oh, there we go. I can see you again. Thank goodness, we're okay. So part three is the things that you're not willing to tolerate, both about life, in business, in your field. What are those things that when you see maybe other people marketing around that or talking around that, or you just see it out there, that it makes you go, oh. So I'm going to give you an example of some of the things that make me go, so that you can start identifying them for yourself, because this is also going to be part of how you work with your soul clients. So think about how it's relevant to you in your business, the thing that you help your soul clients with, and it probably ties into the values as well. So what are the things that me off about in the kind of marketing world? And I've said this once, so I won't go into it in big time, but it's that whole fear-based selling. fear-based selling, where it's always it's normally a guy. I know that probably sounds really sexist, but I'm just going to be a bit sexist for a moment maybe, and like it's that whole like fear-based selling, like if you don't buy this course now that's only on offer this one time, and this is the thing that you need, because otherwise you are screwed, like you haven't got a hell of a chance of like changing your life or whatever if you don't buy it, and if you don't buy it, it says everything about who you are, blah, blah, blah. So that real scarcity-based buying that tries to trigger us to buy, because we think that literally we're gonna die if we don't, and we get all in a frenzy, and it kind of creates all that. It doesn't anymore because I've let go of it, but when I was first starting my business, I got sucked in big time to this stuff, and I would go to my husband and I'd be like, oh my god, I've just seen this thing and I need to buy it now, and if I don't do this, and like they've just said that, like I don't know, like when you see those posts that are like Facebook is dead, like if you think that Facebook advertising is going to help you grow your business, think again, you need to buy my because I'm going to show you how to change it so that you're not left behind and your business won't crumble in 2020. That kind of thing pisses me off, right? So really think about what are the things that you are not willing to tolerate in your business, part of the message that you're like, no, I am anti that. That's one of mine. Second one of mine is that there's only one way to do it. And obviously for me, because I help people grow a business, so this is all about that, right? Think about it in relevance to you. So the other thing for me is there's only one way to do this. If you're doing it any other way, it's just not going to work. I'll never forget, and I'm going to tell you this. I don't know if she's going to watch this back, but I actually haven't seen her for ages, but when I was very first taking my business online and starting to like try and get my shit together, I'd got a really good friend. We spoke every single week on the phone. And we were both in the same place, different businesses, but trying to grow our businesses. And the switch flicked on mine and it started working, and I finally like figured out a way to bring in clients, and I was starting to make money. And I remember being on the phone to her and saying like, I've done this and I'm making this money and and she was like, well, you can't do that, that doesn't work, you can't grow a business like that. And I was like, well, but I am. And she's like, well, no, you can't, it just doesn't work, like you can't make money in that way, you need this and this and this and this. And I was like, well, I don't have those things and I am making money. She's like, yes, but you can't, it doesn't work that way. And I'm like, yes, but it is, god damn it. And it's like those people who are so like, it's never going to work that way, you've got to do it this way, you know, those kind of things around, you've got to have a funnel, or you've got to have a sales page, or you've got to do this, or you've got to do that, or you've got to do whatever. Bullshit. There are a trillion different ways that you can grow your business, and it's about feeling expansive in the way that you choose to do it. So that's the second thing. By the way, as I'm sharing mine with you, I want to see yours. Like, it's like, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. So tell me yours as I'm telling you mine. I want to have a little look at them all. I'm just going to see where these are coming through. Take a little breath at the same time. Okay. Trying to see where they start. Have you started putting in like those, I will not tolerate, this is okay, this message in my industry, in my business really annoys me, and I'm going to be the antithesis of this. I'm trying to see where they start. I'm not sure if okay, I can see where a few are coming in now. So tell me, if you haven't yet, type in, what are these things for you? Another thing, cookie cutter approach, that annoys me. And then the final thing, and this was something that I actually worked with a coach, was a man, and he was like, Claire, please, could you just forget this heart-based business stuff? Why don't we take a good business idea, why don't you earn good money, why don't we automate it, and then you can just sit on the beach sipping cocktails and you don't need to worry about the heart stuff, you can do what you love then. And I'm like, well, no, why do something now? I'll do this now so I can get that then. No, life is not a destination, life is a journey, and it's about enjoying the journey every single day. So the whole point of growing a soul-based business is because you get to be all of you every day. You get to shine your light every single day. You get to do what you love every single day. You get to use your gifts every single day. It's about the journey, because we never know when our final day will be here, right? So there's some of the things that really annoy me. What are those things for you? Because this is going to make the third part of your message. Like in my own messaging, you will see that I talk about, this is not some cookie cutter approach. This is not some fear-based thing. This is not some get rich quick scheme. This is for people who have that vision and have that calling, are like, I'm going to make this work because I know this is my path, and these are my gifts, and this is what I care about, and this is what I want to do. And yes, as you go along that path, you get more and more clarity and certainty as you go. I remember when I started on this path, I wasn't totally sure. I wanted certainty. I wanted to know it was my path. I wasn't sure. It wasn't until I got a certain way along this path that I suddenly went, oh my God, I feel like I've suddenly found my purpose and I'm doing my purpose work. And wow, this is starting to feel incredible. So it does kind of kick in at a certain place. But what are those things? So Faye says, the man having to pay and do all the work. A certain coach we have spoken about does this, i.e. the man saving the woman and her playing hard to get. Yeah, so in the relationship world, like the man, yes, absolutely. So the roles that maybe someone says they have to play. So utilizing that as part of your message. The lack of integrity, yeah, there's so, yes. Dismissive, closed-minded, intimidated, belittling, yes, absolutely. Leslie's like, yep. Faye, you hate the cookie cutter approach. Yes, you got all sucked in all the way by one of those coaches. Selfish to promote the business instead of activity, what they have done. I like it. That's quite funny, Diane. But yeah, I mean, use that. If that's your thing that annoys you, like, yes, by all means, find a way to pull that in. Things I'm not prepared to tolerate. Negativity. Oops, hang on, I've lost you. Negativity, false promises, yes, bad vibes, lies, deception, disingenuous, I don't know if I can even say that word, disingenuous behavior, is that how I say that? You hate when people refuse. Can I tell you one more thing, right? And this, like, here's the final thing that I'm going to add to this list before we move on. The other thing that drives me mad is I'm quite a big picture person. I can do a certain amount of detail, but not tiny detail. And my spelling is pretty atrocious. It's always been atrocious. And last week when I'd got some ads running, and you might have seen them, ads running for this, I'd spelt, you know, the whole there spelling. I spelt there wrong. And I got a couple of comments on this thing going, you can't even spell there properly. I'm like, oh my God, if you're reading people's posts and worried about whether they spelt there correctly or incorrectly, you have not got the vision and the bigger picture that it's going to take to get out there and do it. And I was just like, you have just told me that you are not an ideal client, so I'm glad you didn't join. But so that's one of my little things as well. Anyway. So my next question is, how do you take part of this antithesis, the thing that annoys you, the thing that frustrates you, the thing that you do not like, that you see happening in your industry? How do you take this and how do you make this part of your message, but in a way that feels really aligned, right? Because we don't just want to be like the raving kind of lunatics who are going rah, 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 rah at the world. We want to be shining the light, and we want to be coming from that heart-centered place and that place of love. So it's actually about releasing the fear, isn't it? Quite often, as lots of you said. So these three things, 1, 2, 3, need to be incorporated into your magnetic message. These three things are the heart and soul of your business. And when people say to me, Claire, I don't know, like, I want to do lives, but I don't know what to talk about. I want to write posts, but I don't know what to talk about. Well, when you're clear on your magnetic message, which is what sits at the heart and soul of your business, well, it's all from this. Like, it's all from this. And I've got lots of ways that I help my clients kind of take this and come up with all kinds of different things to talk about, because it's a definite thing that I see people worrying about. But this is the heart and soul of it. And when you're clear on this, it's going to make you showing up, sharing your message, writing posts, doing live streams, creating content. It's going to make all of that much easier. Not only is it going to make it easier, but it's also going to make it connect way more deeply with your soul clients, because, well, you can see the process we've just been through. It makes it really specific and relevant, and boom, it's literally connecting your heart to theirs. So this is powerful stuff. So before we move on to I'm just checking the time. I'm wondering whether I keep the next little bit for tomorrow. I might keep the next little bit for tomorrow because we've gone quite a long time and the next little bit's freaking amazing. I'm just debating. I'm having a little debate, and we've talked about quite a lot today. So your task for today, before we go any further, and as I make that decision, your task for today And I know some of you aren't going to like this. And by the way, there are some people who did not do their task yesterday, and I would really love I would love to see yesterday's task. So if you haven't done yesterday's task, ask yourself, why not? Is it because you're thinking, oh, I don't need to? Or is it because you're not wanting to be seen or not wanting to put it out there? Have a little think. And if you haven't done yesterday's task yet, you can, of course, still go back and do it. Even if it's one sentence, that's amazing. Today's task, and the reason I'm getting you to do this task is because this is going to really help you show up more in your business and share that magnetic message that isn't just heard by people but draws in your soul clients. So I want you to actually spend a little bit of time today pulling together your magnetic message. Now, I want to be really clear on this. Do not get into fear, scarcity, perfection mode about this. This is the moment when I know lots of you will go into overthinking. Oh my God, she wants us to write our like magnetic message, but I don't know, and where do I start? And it's not good enough, and I need more time, and like ego goes crazy. Shh. Even if you just share one sentence that is the beginning of your magnetic message, then that will move you forwards. So be okay with imperfection. Be okay with putting it out there when it's not ready. Be okay with going, well, this is just my first step to building more clarity on it, to taking it further. You're all going to be in different places with your magnetic message. Some of you might never have even thought about this before, and you might be like, oh my God, my magnetic message, I'm not fully clear on this, and where do I start and how do I begin it? Some of you have probably really thought about your magnetic message, and you might have it and it's powerful and it's boom. It's how can you just add to it and make it even more magnetic? So firstly, be okay with where you are on your path of how clear you've got your message. Secondly, just do something to move it forwards one step. So if you've never done a message before and you haven't thought about your magnetic message before, writing one sentence that you share as today's task will move you forward, and you should feel freaking amazing that you've done it. Okay? If on the other hand you're like, I know mine, then just come and share it anyway, because one, it's you putting it out there and you can get a bit of feedback on it, which is good, but two, it's going to help inspire other people, because when you all see each other's messages, it's probably going to spark little bits in your own way, like, oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that, or what about that, or so it's going to create that kind of food for thought. And by all of you sharing this, it's absolutely going to freaking well move you forward. So today's task is really important, and it's not about doing this for me, it's about doing this for you, because this is the heart and soul of your business, and this is where that magnetism, that drawing in of your soul clients really freaking well begins. Are you with me? Are you going to do this? Are you committing to do this? I hope so. I hope it's going to be an absolute hell yes, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them all. So the final thing I'm going to share today, and then I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. So tomorrow there'll be another part of it as well. But the first thing we're going to do tomorrow is, oh shit, hang on. We're not done. Before I get there, we're not done. There's something more. So first thing to remember around this, when you try to speak to everyone, you speak to no one. One of the areas that I see people fall down, trip themselves up a little bit is, let me give you an example, because one of my gorgeous clients said this the other day, and she is gorgeous and I adore her, and she's awesome at what she does. So she's an acupuncturist, and she said, the thing is, Claire, I find it really hard to get clear on my soul client or my core message. I think she was talking about soul client really, but it's relevant to core message as well. Because she said everyone can benefit from acupuncture. So I feel like my soul client is everyone, because every single person in the world would feel healthier if they had acupuncture. I was like, yes, but everyone is not your soul client. So this isn't about the fact that what you do could help everyone, and lots of you here probably got like the thing you do could probably help everyone, right? Like if you're a relationship coach, well, everyone could probably do with some help in relationships in some way, shape or form. If you're body conscious coach, well, everyone on some level could like become more conscious or happier or whatever within their body, if you like, whatever it is you do. So this isn't about, just because what you do could help everyone doesn't mean that you should be speaking to everyone. This is why I took you through this a little bit, because I want you to think about when you try to speak to everyone, you speak to no one. So you do want to make it different. You do want to speak to your soul clients rather than just anyone who could be a client. Is this making sense? So when you think about your message, if you're trying to make it so that it resonates with everyone, it's just not, I promise you. And I fought with this in myself for years, because I was like, well, this is before I was a business coach. This is when I was a purely mindset coach. And I used to be, well, everyone needs help with their mindset. Everyone struggles with doubt and uncertainty. Everyone has areas that are in the shadow that they can't see. Like, I was like, everyone needs help with this. So I'm talking to everyone. And every coach that I would work with, like, yes, but Claire, like, it's too generic. When you do that, it's too generic. And it's coming from that place of scarcity, like, because you think, oh, the more people who if I speak to everyone, then I'm going to get more clients. It's like, no. Do not be afraid to really niche down and speak to your soul client, because the more niched your message is, the more powerful it's going to be. I promise you. The more niched, the more powerful. When you really speak to that soul client and really speak to their values, to their biggest desires, yes, a little bit around their problem, and also to, like, those things that the things that they don't like, to the antithesis. And when you pull all of that in and create your powerful message that's literally your message from your heart, then it shouldn't speak to everyone. It's not meant to. So please don't fall into the trap of trying to speak to everyone and therefore speak to no one. Don't be afraid to make it really freaking specific. That's the first thing. I've got one more task for you to do before we finish for today. And then tomorrow, what we're going to start with tomorrow is part of that. I have got notes on this because I was going to do it today, but it would be crazy to jump into it today, is taking your crazy and turning it into your magic. Taking your crazy and turning it into your magic, and you're gonna love it. This is awesome. This was a download I had last night, and I'm really excited to share it with you, because this is all about how you position yourself online and offline so that people want to work with you. And it's all, yes, you're gonna love it. You're gonna freaking well love it. It's gonna make a massive difference to your mindset in terms of how you show up and how you show yourself in your business, which makes all the difference to how people see you and how ready they are to buy from you as well, of course. So that's part of what we're doing tomorrow, so make sure you're here. Thursday, I've got a freaking epic day on Thursday that you're gonna love. Friday is all around sales, so again, it's going to be amazing. Before I share this last little task with you today, I do want to just tell you briefly, I'm not giving much information, literally 1 minute here. I do want to just share with you that I have got an incredible brand new deep dive 6-month program that I'm going to be opening up later in the week. It's only for a small number of people who are really ready to grow their business big time this year, from that place of soul alignment, from a place of wanting to make a difference, and from a place of realizing that they get to receive richly for the work that they do. And this program is mastermind, so it's in depth, it's real good touch points, you get a huge amount of support in it, and 6 months, incredible things can be created. It's nowhere near the price that it should be. Yes, it's an investment for sure, but nowhere near what I could charge for this as in-person bits. It's freaking powerful. So what I'm going to be doing later on in the week is I will tell you a bit more about this, and I'll be opening up my diary so that we can actually get on a call and see if it's the right fit for you. So keep an eye out, because it's brand new, this program, and I'm so excited. I've had download after download after download about new things that I'm doing with it, and I am getting excited. Anyway, so park that for the moment, and let's finish off today strong. I haven't read loads of these things they've been putting in, so I'm gonna literally, after this training, I'm gonna get back on. Going to read some of them. We're going to have a good look at what's going on. Ooh, Yolanda, what did you say? Are we meant to share the task in the group? Yes, Yolanda, maybe I didn't make that very clear. If you didn't realize, each day, share the task in the group, share the task in the group, share the task in the group. Yes, because that you need to do that so that you're in to win the prize at the end of the week. So like each video, comment on each video, share your task in the group, and then you might win one of my freaking amazing, which program is it that I'm going to be giving away? Recoded for Rich. It's a money mindset program, strategy and mindset and soul all around your ability to receive money. Awesome program. I'm going to give some away for free to some of you. Last task for today. You ready? So what I want you to do is I want you to come in a bit more on your soul client. So what I want you to do is on a piece of paper, divide the page in half. Where's half? There. It's because the image is back to front. So divide the page there. Divide the page in half. On one side, you're going to write my soul client is or does ... And on the other side, you're going to write my soul client is not or does not ... So what you're doing here is you're getting really clear. You're going to write it down. This is what my client is. My soul client is this. My soul client does this. My soul client believes this, versus my soul client does not do this. Sorry, my soul client is not this. Does not do this. So for example, my soul client is not someone who just wants a quick fix and just wants to make a bit of money now. My soul client instead wants to build this beautiful long-term business where they get to make a difference, where they make an impact, where they continuously grow, and where they receive richly for the work they do. And it's a beautiful part of their life. You know, one of the key things to me when I started my business is that I wanted a business that made a difference, that helped people, where I could be all of myself, but also gave me the flexibility, you know, to spend time with my children and go on holidays and take them to school in the morning and pick them up from school and sit and do their homework with them and those kind of things. I wanted to be able to be a really hands-on mum and have a gorgeous business. And so what's this got to do with this? So really my soul client wants the same. They want a business that works in beautiful flow with their life, not just some quick fix thing at the side. So that's one example. Another thing will be my ideal client has a growth mindset. They want to grow. They want to learn. They want to go deeper, versus the mindset of, well, I'm just great as I am. Just show me what to do. Not a soul client. My soul client chooses to be ready, as opposed to so they don't go, well, I need to wait until or I need to do this first, or I need to do that first. Or here's one for you, like my soul client doesn't go, I need to go and like I'm totally woo-woo, right? I do the cards, I do the everything, but my soul client doesn't go, I need to go and check the cards to see if it's aligned. My soul client goes, well, I am the leader of my life. I'm going to choose to do this, and I'm going to trust that the universe aligns with me and supports me as I leap. So my soul client chooses that they are the leader and that things will come into place. So think about this for you. Thank you for all the little love hearts and things that are coming up. So this is what I want you to do. You don't have to share this. This is just for you to build more clarity, so that when you're then writing content, speaking to your soul clients, showing up, these are some of the things that you're talking about. You're talking quite often about who your soul client is and who your soul client is not. So it's just taking that clarity a step further, because this is the stuff that creates more clarity within you, so that your message has more impact. So that when you write a post, when you do a live stream, if you run a challenge or a masterclass or a webinar or any of those things, you're much more zoned in on who you're speaking to, and so it connects with them more deeply. So they're far more likely to go, hell yes, I'm ready to work with you, because they notice. It's like that mirror effect. When you see it, they can see it. It's reflected back at them, and it's like, yes, this is a soul client. This feels good. I want to do this. Make sense? Have you got any questions around that? Yolanda, do I have a format for the magnetic message? No, I don't, Yolanda. Really, this is just about you putting it out there. part of the reason why I don't like putting a format there is because I just want you to speak from your heart. I don't want you to overthink it too much. I want you just to be like, oh, what is it there? My magnetic message, I think I shared it a little bit earlier, Ginny. It's my magnetic message is that we are incredible women. We are born with these gifts. We are born with this passion and this drive. And it's about giving ourselves permission to embrace it fully and to realize that we can receive richly by doing this work. And it's then that we get to live our fullest life, because it's not like, well, now I'm working and now I'm living. It's actually, I'm living right now, and my work is part of my soul work and my purpose. And by doing that purpose work, we get to have more in life, because not only are we making a beautiful impact, we're doing our purpose work, and of course we get to receive richly for doing it. So that's, you know, in a nutshell, that's my magnetic message. Yolanda, no, so I just said it. Okay. Yes. Claire Thompson, yes, yes, yes. Yolanda, hell yes. I can't remember what the question was that everyone's saying yes to now. Never mind. How do we get the balance of being in service, being love light, and not focusing on the what's in it for me? Well, because I think the thing is here that it's that, of course, we get like the way energy works is we give, we receive. It should be in balance. So it's like, well, the brighter that I shine and the more that I'm me and the more that I speak my truth, of course, the more I'm going to receive for doing that, because that's just the universal balance. So it's not from a place of like, oh, well, I need to, or I whatever. It's just like, well, of course we get to receive. And I think that what happens is, because of how we're conditioned as we grow up, we very wrongly can we take on this belief that receiving is somehow greedy or wrong, or wanting money or wanting this or wanting that is wrong. When we let go of the ickiness around it, we can just see that, well, of course we get to receive. Like, we give out and therefore we receive. The two go hand in hand and they dance beautifully together. And there's nothing like, it's just like, well, of course the brighter you shine, of course the more that you show up, of course, like the bigger impact you make and the more that you just are all of you and embrace your gifts, then of course you're going to receive more. But you've got to be open to that receiving. So if there's limiting beliefs around it and that whole, well, but is it greedy or is it this or is it whatever, then you're blocking that receiving. So therefore it's out of balance. So for me, that's what's really important. Everyone's different. I would help to define what one soul client looks like. It would help to define. Yes, if you feel like you've got, Debbie, if you feel like you've got lots of soul clients, start with one. But as I said, they're going to have the same, on a deeper level, they're going to probably be the same. You will never resonate with everyone. Everyone is at a different frequency. Absolutely, Diane. Love this. Excited for tomorrow. Whoop, whoop. Has anyone got any questions about today? Camilla, I'm opposite to the positive thinking alone will make everything better, because it takes full understanding and impact on mind and body. Ways to manage and stay in toxic relationships. Yeah, awesome. Leslie, laptop is working. You were doing something right. It's because you were meant to just be here, Leslie. That's why. Nora, lovely to see you. That's a great exercise. Thanks, Debbie. I need clarity on soul client, as I feel I have two. Would this work? So here's the thing, Elena. Write down the two, and then look beneath that with these values. See how actually they're both come into it. So with your message, it's up to you. I would find a way to combine your message, because that's going to make it easier. And the way you combine is by taking it deeper. Claire, hello, gorgeous Claire. Oh, Claire Walters, if you're still here now, listen to me. I think we should do an interview of you and your freaking awesomeness. So Claire is in my academy right now. She's just left her full-time job and she's doing it alone. And I would look, Claire, let's do an interview later this week. Eleanor, my online content needs to reach both audiences. I'm unsure if that's possible. So Eleanor, pop it in, pop what the difference is, tag me in, and I'll try and take a look at it. Layla, what happens if, like me, you've just started your business and you feel you don't have a soul client yet? Imagine so it might be that you aren't working with your soul client yet, but I think you probably know who your soul client is. Who's that person that you would love to work with? Who's the person you would love to work with? So it doesn't matter if you haven't actually worked with one client yet. I think you know who the client is that you would love to work with versus the client who you would not love to work with. So do it from that perspective. Wilma, I have two different businesses. How do I marry them and create a niche? It's a mindful and makeup. What do they have in common? What do those two businesses have in common? So, for example, How is the makeup linked in with the mindfulness? Are both businesses the same? Is one your core business and one a side business, for example, in which case I'd focus on your core business? So think about that as well. Are they equally weighted businesses, or is it that, hey, this is my sole business, this is my purpose business, but this is the one on the side to help me a bit? Or are they in there? So it depends a little bit on the answer to some of those things. Just reading through them all. Paula, hello, gorgeous Paula. I was talking about you earlier. Claire, yes, awesome. Manda, love these points. Thank you. Okay, so on that note, we will call it a day. Remember to have liked each video, commented on each video, share the task in the group, so that you're in to win one of the prizes at the end of this week. I've got epic training lined up with you for tomorrow. As I said, I nearly shared it with you today, but we would go way too long today. I have got a freaking awesome offer that I'm going to be opening up later in the week for women who are really ready to do this big time and bring in those results and ramp up their reach, their impact, their income. So I'll be sharing a little bit more about that later in the week. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask them. Go and have an amazing day. Vibe high, stay strong, stay committed to the process, because I know that we get to Wednesday and it's that whole like hump day Wednesday, which I don't really get, but I know some people do. So choose to stay strong, show up. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Go kick ass. Mwah. Bye.